I do need to change over my VPN to America. So I have not done that. So hopefully this is not going to cause too much disruption. I'm going to try and do it now, which isn't ideal when we've started streaming, but let's see if it causes any problems. We need to go to America, of course, VPN-wise, because tonight's show is on Tubi. Let's click that over. Okay, hopefully, as we said, I think it's okay. I think we're okay. We've clicked over to America, and we are well on the way to Tubi. Let's click on Tubi and get that signed up. I can't remember what we've got tonight. Can't remember what the preview is for tonight's show, so we need to have a look at that as well. There's Tubi. Okay. Everything is looking pretty good, to be honest, so I think we're okay. Let's see if we can find Mr. Stone, Robert Stone. He normally likes to put a bit of a preview out, and we do have a preview. Love that for us. Love that for us. Let's go over here, and let's go Mr. Stone, and let's see what the preview is.
This is your weekly Tubi teaser. You probably know me from LFG, right? Well, now I'm here making my debut on Evolve. So tune in tonight to watch me have my first ever match with a brave opponent, Carmen Petrovic. Тому що то є тільки початок для Зіна Sterling. Bye-bye!
And so Xena in action. Also, my boys back swipe right are in the house.
Yeah, those hundos will certainly be flying.
Hundos.
We're talking the Evolve Women's Division. We saw PJ Vasa make a big impact. She's in action tonight. Takes on the first ever Evolve Women's Champion, Callie Armstrong. Catch it all live tonight, 8 p.m. on Tubi.
Okay, so Zena Sterling is going to be in action. It's really interesting, actually, because Zena Sterling is someone I don't know because I haven't watched LFG, but she is someone that has popped up at an NXT live event, kind of partnering with Blake Monroe. Might be something, might be nothing, but she is partnering with Blake Monroe. So that's kind of interesting, because that is a potential partnership that we need to be aware of, a potential partnership that we need to keep an eye out for. So I'm interested in seeing Zena Sterling. I've seen a few clips of her, so we're going to be seeing Zena Sterling apparently in action, making her Evolve debut. So looks like we've got a couple of girl matches. We're tuned in, says the Prodigy. So yeah, looking forward to that. It doesn't look like any kind of crazy show, but it should still be plenty of fun. People are firing in. Hello, hello. Carl said, Daze, today's my birthday. Happy birthday, Carl. Hope you have a great day. Is Wep on tomorrow? I believe so. Yeah, I believe Wep's on tomorrow. But happy birthday for today. Spoilers are out for next week's NXT, said Glockness. I've avoided them. Yeah, thankfully I've not seen them. I've seen a couple of posts that are like, if you want to know what went down, then click on this. And of course I've just not clicked on it. So yeah, I'm not interested. I mean, we're going to be watching that show anyway. So I'd much rather just find out when it happens. But yeah, spoilers. I know there are spoilers out there. Kimberly said, I can't wait to watch Evolve tonight. It's going to be good, man. It's going to be good. Couple of Zena Sterling, couple of new faces around, freshen things up a little bit. So looking forward to seeing what's in store. Wrestling fan, hello. Shout out to you. Kyle said, Daze, I brought a webcam a while ago, but it keeps freezing. I need to get a new one. Have you got any suggestions? Well, I use Logi 4K Brio. It's like a 4K webcam. Before that, I used the Logi 1080p one or whatever. Every time I've looked to see which is the best webcams to use, they're always the ones that get mentioned. The Logitech 4K Brio, the Logitech. I can't remember what it's called, like C22 1080p thing. I used that for a long time. To be honest, we don't stream in 4K. Because like my internet's not that great. We stream out in a pretty good 1080p. But it can go up to 4K, my webcam. If my internet was stronger, then we would stream in 4K. But to be honest, this isn't a face that's built for 4K, so I'm not going to unleash that on you guys. If it's freezing, though, I mean, I don't know if that's a webcam issue or it might be a computer issue, so it might not be your webcam, I'm not sure. Seb said, Daze, apologies for bringing Vince up. Oh, that's okay. In your opinion, do you believe he'll be moving faster? Do you believe he'd be moving faster than Triple H right now, given a Randy heel turn and splitting Judgment Day, pushing Finn, for example? Yeah, he might do. The only thing I'd say about Vince is he was also guilty of milking things. He was also guilty of, like, dragging stuff on. Like, if something worked, he got every dime out of it that he could. So he might have moved quicker, but equally, he would also keep banging on with stuff until he was confident that he had got every last drop out of it. So, I mean, you got to remember Triple H has kind of learnt a lot of what he does from Vince, and he will have had a lot of like lessons from Vince, and he will have obviously given his own spin. I'm not saying that what Triple H done is exactly the same as what Vince would have done, right? I mean, clearly they are different people, but there are still a lot of core fundamentals that Triple H sticks to that I think are things that he has picked up from watching Vince and learning from Vince. I mean, Vince is his mentor when it comes to, well, the business in many ways. I mean, there's a lot of times where Triple H would be in Gorilla sat with Vince and watching how things got done. I mean, Vince is his father-in-law. You can think about all the conversations they will have had over the years about booking and creative, putting shows together, what works, what doesn't, what's important, all of those aspects. So I think... I don't think it's as simple as Triple H bad, Vince goods. I mean, it's really not that simple, because when Vince was booking, there were so many people desperate for Triple H to take over. Just desperate for him to take over, because Vince had loads of stuff that he was like guilty of that was rubbish. I mean, so much cheesy comedy, so much stuff that was... I mean, the cringe levels of Vince's shows were quite high at times. He had his strengths, he had his weaknesses. I would say that Triple H has got his strengths, and he has got his weaknesses. Do I think Vince would move a little bit quicker than what we've seen with Triple H? Yeah, I think he would. It's hard to imagine anyone going slower. So I think he would. But it's really not like all rainbows and lollipops for Vince. I mean, the one thing you heard about Vince all the time was he's out of touch. He's out of touch. We need to get someone new in there. This is a guy that's been booking since the early 80s. And here he was still booking in like 2018, 2019, 2020. I mean, that's like 40 years. Imagine trying to book interesting, engaging stories 40 years after you started. I mean, it's going to be hard for anyone. I mean, what is it that people are looking for in 40 years from now? What are people going to be wanting from professional wrestling? Probably not the same as what they're looking for now, is the honest answer. Because so many things evolve and change over that time. So, yeah, I don't know. I think it's a real dangerous, slippery slope to kind of bash Triple H. And not that you've done that, I'm just saying. It's a slippery slope to go down that. I do see that online. People saying, I wish Vince would come back. And it's like, I don't think you was around when Vince was around then. Or you're only remembering the good times, because Vince was booking in 2019, and that's one of the worst years I've ever seen. And actually, it was so bad. We actually had the McMahon family come out during an episode. I think it was Raw or SmackDown. And they basically apologized and said, we know we're not giving you what you're looking for, and we're going to do better from now on. And then absolutely nothing changed. So it's amazing how all of those things get forgotten about by the IWC. But you can find people online going, man, Triple H sucks. 2025 has been awful. We need to get Vince back. And you do go, was you around? Did you see some of the shows? I'm understanding the whole Triple H. I mean, listen, no one goes off on creative as much as me, right? So I totally hear what people online are saying. But no, it's not as straightforward. Life is not as straightforward as, you know, Vince good, Triple H bads. It doesn't work that way. But yes, in answer to your question, Asib, because I did go off on a tangent. In answer to your question, I think Vince probably would move a little bit quicker, but he would also bring many other problems with him. Adam, shout out to you, my friend. Said a tip for the tip jar. Thank you, my friends. It goes into the let's see if we can get a new chair next year fund. And I mean, like, I really appreciate the support. It's top of my priority list. So if it goes, it will go back into the channel and it will go back into a chair because this one is absolutely knackered. And that is a priority for me next year. So, Adam, thank you, my friend. I really do appreciate it. And hope you're looking forward to Evolve today. We've got hopefully a decent show, a fun show coming up. We've already had a look at the breakdown. I don't know. They do sometimes put out like graphics and everything, don't they? So it would be good to have a look at. It would be good to have a look and see if. Oh, Callie has got a message for PJ Vassar. Can I show this? I don't know if I can show this. Let's have a look. Callie. Please don't have music. No. I don't think we can show it. Drone shot. That feels like it's going to be shown on the show. So, yeah, earlier today. I think this is probably an excerpt from the show. So, yeah, and loads of footage as well. Yeah, that would have got me shot. So, Callie Armstrong has got a message for PJ Vassar. So, I'm looking forward to that. At least Triple H doesn't try to beep female talent, said James. Well, there is that as well. William said, Daze, should we not enjoy ourselves in the chat if people constantly try to get our attention? We give them said attention and they get offended. I don't know. I don't know what's happening in the chat. I would like everyone to have a lovely time. That's what I would like. Bishop said, I don't have any interest in seeing Vince back. Imagine if we did TLC in 3D, not the band, but the wrestling match. Imagine if we had the band in 3D, virtual reality, that would be great. We could all go chasing waterfalls. So, Glockness, shout out to you. WWE Army said, Daze, is that an all-black t-shirt? We're wearing the same, said WWE Army. It's my uniform. So I've said before that, like, I'm a very lazy man when it comes to my life. I mean, my life is literally what you see during the streams. So when I wake up, I don't want to have to do my hair and put gel in and all that stuff. So, you know, I just put a beanie on. And, you know, when it comes to, like, shirts, you know, a bit of a spoiler, this is a green screen, right? So that means that certain colours are going to clash. If I wear yellow or anything that's got yellow on it, or anything that's green or has got green on it, even certain shades of blue, it goes see-through or it kind of flickers and looks weird. And it just does not work. And actually, when I first started streaming, there was a few shirts I was wearing and that was happening. And it was so flipping annoying that I just swore, I was like, I'm just going to buy a load of black shirts. Black actually looks quite good and it does not interfere with the backgrounds. So I'm just going to go out. I'm going to buy a load of black shirts. Done. It doesn't even have to be a consideration anymore. I don't even have to think about it. I don't even have to think, is that going to look okay? And so I just do that now. So this is why I tend to wear black shirts all the time and why I wear a beanie all the time. Laziness and green screen. And that's the reason for it. I was thinking of trying to get some wrestling shirts soon that are black with maybe some white on that I know is not going to be a problem. I could absolutely wear them. I mean, that would be absolutely fine. So I was thinking, you know, maybe mixing it up in the future, getting some shirts You know, I was looking at that JC Jane one. I'd quite happily wear a JC Jane one. I really like JC Jane. I'd happily wear like a Sami Zayn, Javon Evans. You know, there's loads of wrestlers I like. So I was thinking of doing that, but I ain't got round to it. I'll just stick with these for now. But that's why I wear them, yeah. Lee said, do we think that SmackDown going 3 hours is going to be adverts and promos rather than content? No. It'll go to about 2 hours 15 content. I mean, it will increase its content. Of course, there will be extra commercials in that third hour, but I think it'll go to about 2:15, 2:20. But when it is, it's going to add an extra probably 40 minutes, isn't it, of content. I'm pretty sure that it's like 1 hour 30 if it's 2 hours. And I think it's about 2 hours 20 if it's 3 hours. It's something like that. Because I remember on the network, and actually you could probably do it now anyway. If you look at the Raw videos in the archive, then it'll show you the length of the shows, and they don't have adverts in, of course. It's basically the shows without adverts. So if a show's 3 hours, I think take the adverts out, it's about 2:20. If it's 2 hours, it's about 1:30, something like that. So yeah, you will get extra content, of course you will. But you will get extra adverts as well. It's not like you're going to get a whole hour of matches and whatever. So they might squeeze, they'll get an extra match in, and there'll be certainly promos, backstage stuff, things like that. Yeah, it'll just be a little bit of everything kind of added. The question is, can they book it well? That's going to be the question. We struggled with 3 hour SmackDowns before, so there's not much excitement out there for them. James said, I'm the same. If it fits, I wear it. Mate, you and me, same page. You know, when it comes to life and, you know, kind of the things I need to get done each day, I need to spend zero time thinking about clothes. I need to spend zero time thinking about things like that. So, you know, I get up, I have a wash, I brush my teeth. You know, depending on the time, I might come down and have some food. If not, I might just jump straight onto a stream. But there is, clearly, there is zero time given to thinking about my appearance. Hence why, you know, I have a shave when the beard gets out of control. Not like to keep it groomed. You know, there is zero beard oil being used in this beard. That is, I can confirm that. So, yeah, it's just the way it is, isn't it? I think it's probably a good way to be, honestly. Just, you know, focus on the stuff that's important. And that, of course, is wrestling. That's what's important. Adam says, I like your streaming for WWE and the other sports. It makes my day when I watch your videos. Oh, well, thank you, Adam. I really appreciate it. I am a bit worried that we're pumping out a lot of stuff. I mean, there's a lot of little clips, like reaction clips. There's a lot of streams, long streams. There's a lot of videos, opinions, breakdown videos, unseens. I mean, there is a lot of content that goes out. I would not expect people to be watching all of it, of course. But just anything that people, you know, jump in with, check in with is always appreciated. And yeah, I think there's maybe a little bit of something for everyone. I do really want to find some more fun stuff. I've just recorded another episode of Wrestle Feud, which is our members quiz. Brilliant episode. Big shout out to Cameron and Bones. Brilliant. Loved it. I had a lot of fun with it. I think they did as well. And I hope people watching enjoyed it. And yeah, I mean, obviously all of that is coming. I've got quite a few of those ready to go, but I don't want to start putting them out yet until I'm like, you know, got a real good like 20 of them made. So that I know that when they start going out, they're just going to keep going, you know. Don't want to start and then there's a big gap and then everyone's like, well, what happened to them? And it's like, oh, I haven't done any more yet. You know what I mean? It's like, I want to make sure when we go, we go. So we got loads more Wrestle Feuds coming up. And yeah, I mean, obviously that's the thing. We need to get another toy hunt done. So that's another thing. If I can find a way of getting, you know, I would love to figure out, right? This is maybe the big problem that I've got. I would love, and I think everyone's in this boat, some quick, fun content videos. You know, some videos I could put out that take like a couple of hours to make, short, quick, fun, people enjoy them, And I'd love that. I really think that's what the channel's missing. Quick, short, fun videos. I wonder if there is anything in the fun folder having its own space. I don't want to keep breaking these videos down into like little chunks, but I do think the fun folder can be maybe like the best of the week. Do you know what I mean? Just take like the best of the fun folder from the week. That would be a fun video to have as a separate video, wouldn't it? On a Saturday, the best of the fun. I don't know when I'd edit it, but you know, those kind of things I think are missing from the channel. So I don't know. I'm constantly thinking about what do we need? Where are we? How can we improve? That's the way it goes. Seeb said, you know when Adam Cole left? What was the reasoning? Did we know about the injuries he was going to suffer in the future? I might be way off. Well, I heard that Adam Cole, when he left, am I right in remembering it was his choice? I'm going to have a look. Departs WWE, because I've got a feeling they wanted him to stay. Yeah, Adam Cole quit WWE to go and work with AEW. I left WWE because of my passion for wrestling, said Adam Cole. He said it was a fairly easy decision to make. I heard that they wanted him on the main roster. I heard that they... I don't even know if this is true, but I heard they offered him a main roster spot. Because he wasn't on the main roster when he left. He was on his way. I mean, he'd been obviously in Undisputed Era. He'd been in NXT for a long time. And, you know, I think they were ready. I don't know if they, you know, I don't know if he kind of forced their hand. But, no, I'm not aware that it was him that left WWE. It wasn't WWE that parted ways with him. He said it was a fairly easy decision to go over to AEW. And, you know, I think he's someone that really puts a lot of stock in the in-ring stuff, which is obviously massively important. We all do. But we know that in WWE, they really, you know, focus on a lot of other things as well. I mean, they've just gone and put the belt on Maxine Dupree. You can't tell me that she is one of the top 4 women's wrestlers that they've got, right? She's got one of their major belts. You know, you've got your 2 world champs, your 2 mid-card champs. I think we would all agree she's not one of those kind of top 4 at the moment, right? So it's all about story, character. That's what WWE kind of really put a lot in. Presentation, aura. Look at Jey Uso, his connection with the crowds. I think Adam Cole looked at a lot of his friends starting a company, really putting a focus on when the bell rings, you know, this is where the best wrestle and all that. And I think he decided that that was the right place for him to go to. And I heard that WWE really wanted him to stay, though. I heard that that was quite a blow. I remember actually watching one of my favorite ever WWE videos. There's a WWE video of Triple H, Stephanie McMahon, and Kathy Kelly walking around WWE Access. I can't remember the year, but it was, I want to say, you know, WrestleMania 35, WrestleMania 34, something like that, right? 2018, 2019. And they're going around Access, and it's like an hour long, and they go everywhere, and they look at everything you can do. And I remember at one point, Stephanie in that video were by the NXT ring, and she does the Adam Cole baby catchphrase, and she's quite excited about Adam Cole. And, you know, they just spend a bit of a moment talking about him, and you can tell there is some real enthusiasm for him. I think there is some real, like, yeah, he's going to be a good star in the future. Like, he's doing great stuff in NXT. And I don't think it's, you know, I mean, I don't think it's that long after that he departs and ends up going to AEW. And I think that was one that was a real blow to them. So the reason that I ask is because Tony mentioned to Ariel he might not be able to wrestle again. Yeah, he's got a horrible, don't know the injury, but yeah, I mean, he got very emotional. I saw a clip of him in the ring. I think, was it All In or All Out? And he said something along the lines of, you know, I wanted to wrestle here tonight, but it's not possible. I need to go away and get healthy, and I don't know if I ever quite will. I don't know if it's been revealed what he's dealing with. Again, I don't watch AEW. I don't really keep up with that news. So I can't really sit here and give any detail on that. But so if it's come out, then that'd be interesting. But I've not heard what the issue is. But, well, I mean, listen, tribalism, we have a bit of fun with it, right? But, of course, wish him a very, very speedy recovery. I hope he returns very, very soon. I hope he's fit, healthy, has a great career. Just wish nothing but the best for Adam Cole. He was, not that it matters, but he was fantastic in NXT. I think you could really make an argument that he's one of the Mount Rushmore faces for NXT. I've always thought Finn Balor, Adam Cole, Johnny Gargano, and then it's debatable on the fourth. I feel like you might have to have a woman up there, someone like Bayley, or maybe you go Asuka, or maybe you go Tommaso Ciampa, but it's probably not great to leave a female off. So, I might have to go Bayley. Bayley, Johnny Gargano, Finn Balor, Adam Cole. That would feel to me like it's about right. But I don't know. Everyone's going to have their own different thoughts, aren't they, for a NXT Mount Rushmore. Rob said, every time I hear about Adam Cole, it reminds me I need to watch Chugs on Twitch. I used to love watching him. He's nice. No idea. Paul said, Adam Cole didn't just Vince McMahon booking since they were brought up to the main roster. Oh, he didn't want to be booked by Vince, says Paul. Gottness said, Vince will probably be there, but he'll be in a private VIP where he is not likely to be shown on screen. Yes, I agree. We're talking about John Cena's final match, I'm guessing. Abdullah the Butcher looks like Benjamin Franklin, said WWE Army. Bishop said, is there a WEP tomorrow? I believe so. Yeah, I believe so. I was under the impression that there was 2 weeks that Tommy couldn't do. And actually, I sent him a message last week going, so is it next week we're back or the week after? And then I just carried on with, doing some work and whatnot. And when I looked at my emails, he was like, I thought we were back tonight. So he was under the impression we were back last week. By the time I saw it, it was, well past WEP time. So I think there might have just been a bit of a miscommunication. So yes, I am expecting the WEP to return tomorrow. Wrestling Void, hello. Might sound bad, but I don't know who Adam Cole is. Oh, it doesn't sound bad. If you don't know who people are, that doesn't sound bad at all. Yeah, no, he was a big deal. There was a group in NXT. They were called Undisputed Era. And they kind of ran things for a little while. I mean, they were a heel group. They caused lots of problems. Adam Cole had some big matches in NXT. He was really on the verge of going to the main roster. Big deal. He isn't the tallest of guys, and a lot of people thought that would hold him back. Because, you hear a lot of people saying that he doesn't have much of a physique. He's on the smaller side and whatnot. But, I mean, he showed what he was capable of in NXT. He was one of their top stars. So I think he would have gone to the main roster, and I think he would have connected with people. I mean, Daniel Bryan was not the biggest, and, look what he was able to achieve. Rey Mysterio, blah, 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 blah. I think that, and Adam Cole did really well over in AEW as well. I mean, he connected with people and the crowds, and I mean, he's one of the top wrestlers, isn't he? So, but yeah, he left and ended up going to AEW. James said it's just over 24 hours till the Ashes. Oh, do you know what? I'm so excited. I'm actually going to say to Tommy tomorrow, and I know this isn't very professional, but can we keep it 45 minutes? I think we start at 1:45 UK time. I want to be done by 1:30 because I think the cricket kicks off at 2. So, I want to be upstairs, seated. I want to see the national anthem and all of that. The cricket is this is as big as it gets. If you don't know anything about cricket, and I'm sure that's many of you, absolutely fine, right? You don't need to know about cricket. It's not a sport really that's followed in America or Canada. But for cricket fans in England, the biggest thing is when we play Australia. England-Australia is the biggest thing in cricket, right, for us. And I think for Australia as well, right? And it's called the Ashes. And it's where these two teams go up against each other. And the Ashes is the biggest thing. And that starts this weekend. Each game, there's 5 games. They call them tests. And each test can last 5 days. So that'll be like 25 days in total. But they're broken up into 5 games. And the way that cricket works, just really quickly, is the first team bats until they're all out. Then the second team bats until they're all out. Then the other team goes again until they're all out. And then the other team goes again until they're all out. Add all the scores up. Who got the most? That's it. Yeah. So England will go twice. Australia will go twice. And who gets the most runs out of the two? When you add those 2 goes together, who got the most runs? And it takes 5 days to do that. Because it's hard to get people out. It's hard to kind of, get rid of a batsman. They've got to get caught or you've got to hit their wicket. And it's tricky. It's hard. So, there's a lot that happens over those kind of 5 days. Whoever's winning, it twists and it turns. It feels like you're doing well. Then all of a sudden you're not. And anything can happen at any time. It's a great game to have on in the background. It's so... it's one of those where you can be doing work, just have a little glance at the score, maybe watch a couple of balls being bowled. Oh, he's got a 6, he's got a 4. Oh my God, he's out. Whatever it might be. And then you just go back to your work. You might have a look up 20 minutes later. What's the score now? Oh, guys, so good. I flipping love it. It's addictive. So, yeah, I know. I share in the excitement. James said it's 2:30 game start. Well, I'm still getting out of there at 1:30. I'm still getting out of there at 1:30, and I'm going upstairs. I want to see the chatter. I want to see the coin flip. I want to see the national anthems. I want to know if we're batting or bowling. I want to see that first ball. I want to see the crowds and, how hostile they are, because we're in Australia and it's going to be hostile. I've heard a lot of English are going to Australia, though. I've heard there's like 20-odd thousand that have gone. So 50-odd thousand in the stadium. And there should be a good sizable amount of English there as well. So, but yeah, I know it's not everyone's thing, though, so we're going to leave it there, but I'm excited. Cricket is where you use a big-ass wooden hammer and you swing at the balls like miniature golf, said William. That's the one, William. That's the one. Wrestling Void said, it sounds relaxing. Do you know, I broke my ankle in 2005 when I was at work and I had the summer off. And that was the first time I'd watched cricket. The cricket was on and it was the Ashes, England, Australia. And it just turned out to be what is regarded as one of the greatest series of games ever, right? It was so dramatic. And, cricket's amazing. You can play for 5 days and it can get down to, like, the dying moments of the 5th day. It can get down to one team needs 7 runs. The other team needs to get this final batter out. And it's like... every ball, it's like, is it going to go for 4? Is it going to go for 6? Is he about to get removed? Like, what's going to happen? And, like, it's so flipping dramatic. When you get so invested in something over that length of time, you're not just going to walk away from it, But equally, it is a game that you can just have on in the background, yeah. It's a game you can just keep checking in with and just, what's the score now? Oh, okay, they're doing well. Yeah, come on, England. That's good. Let's try and get another 50 runs. And you find yourself saying stuff like that. So I understand it's not for everyone. I understand that a lot of people don't get it and don't care about it. But for me, James, and anyone else that watches cricket, yeah, it's going to be really exciting. I am going to be very distracted. It is going to be on. While SmackDown's on and Raw, if you do find me kind of doing this... Spoiler, I'm not watching the wrestling. I'll have the cricket on the TV over there and I'll be like, come on, mate, just get another 20. Just another 20 and then we're looking pretty good. Daryl said, if you had the fantasy book a 4-way elimination match, between 4 at WrestleMania 42, what would be the order of eliminations? Who's in it? Who's in the match, Daryl? Who's in the match? If I know who's in the match, I can fantasy book it. Adam said miniature golf is the best. Miniature golf's pretty fun as well. I would watch that. If it was England, Australia, going doing miniature golf. Why is there not like a miniature golf tournament? Surely there is. But how is that not on TV? You're telling me that if it was America versus Canada going around one of the great mini golf courses, and they could just tour all these great courses around the world, and you was doing like, all these different countries, people would watch that. That's got to be a thing, surely. Surely that's a thing. Seeb said, quick question. Thoughts on Pakistan for the Cricket World Cup? I don't know, honestly. I mean, what I've seen of Pakistan has not been great, to be honest. Pakistan, I don't recall them like trouble in semi-finals and finals. I think, to be honest, I think there's been a bit of upheaval with Pakistan as they're not. Like, I don't think you guys have been playing at home. And so I think you've had to play like elsewhere. Because I know we did go to Pakistan, England, and it was quite a big deal going there. Because we hadn't been there for a while. So I don't know. I don't know what's happening with Pakistan and your cricketing kind of team at the moment. I would say it's not in a very strong place. If I think about the best teams in the world right now, I'm probably thinking India, of course, Australia. I think South Africa is having a really good time. England are not in that kind of upper bracket. They're definitely that next level down. Australia are the favourites for this Ashes series. So England are very much the underdogs as we go over to Australia. So it's in Australia as well, which obviously helps them, doesn't help us. So Australia are expected to win this series, but it's just, can England do it? Pakistan, I would have them like, even lower than that. Yeah. So I don't know. I mean, maybe you've got some players coming through. I don't follow like nations that closely to know who's emerging. I just know kind of how they're performing at the moment. So Jitters said, I was ill one weekend. I watched the UK Snooker Championship. I think it was between John Higgins and I can't remember who was playing. The final was Higgins against Trump. Not a big snooker watcher, to be honest, but if it was the final, I would probably watch it if I could connect with someone. It's a weird one, that. I love sport. I mean, I'll happily watch England in pretty much anything, but snooker is just not one that's ever managed to grab me, and I don't know why. I don't know why. Darts has never really grabbed me, but I do watch that a bit more. Luke Littler and everything has been very exciting for darts. So that's big over here. Eddie Hearn said darts makes more money for Matchroom than boxing does. And Eddie Hearn is like, Anthony Joshua's manager, and he's got other fighters. Does shows all around the world. But he says for their company, darts makes more money than boxing does. It's really popular in the UK. Really popular. I think it's growing as well globally. So, I'll watch rugby, I'll watch cricket, I'll watch Man United or England, love watching the football, love wrestling, watch UFC, love boxing. So, tennis, I could take it or leave it. Maybe if there was a really good British tennis player, it might grab me. But, tennis, I don't know. Tennis is okay. But yeah, snooker has just never got me. I don't know why. Big Time said, could you imagine being Cora Jade and seeing JC Jane being in the role that you thought you would be in this year? It's hard not to compare yourself because they both started 2.0 and they had similar appearances. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. If you're Cora Jade, would you not look at Roxanne? Your very, very close friend, your great friend, and what she's doing in Judgment Day and being at PLEs. And I'm not sure I'd be looking at JC. I think I'd be looking at Roxanne, and I'd be looking at like everything that she's doing at the moment, and you know, it should have been me. But you can't think that way. You can't go through life thinking that way. Everyone's on a different journey. Everyone's on a different path, you know. Everyone makes decisions that they believe to be the right ones for them at the time. I mean, no one chooses to make a wrong decision, right? So, you know, sometimes the decisions you make prove to not be correct. And sometimes you maybe get into things a bit too late. I don't know when Cora started her training compared to Roxanne. I know they were both into it when they were young, and I'm sure Cora started when she was young. You know, if Cora goes to her local training school and Roxanne goes to her local training school, if Roxanne's local training school is better than the one that Cora had, I mean, Cora's off to a bad start, and it's not even her fault, is it? So this is why it's one of them, isn't it? Where life is just you're on a completely different journey. You're on a completely different journey, and some of it might not even be your fault if things don't go that way. Plus, also, you never quite know what's going on in people's lives. Might seem like everyone's got, like, you know, everything going for them, but behind the scenes, are they happy? Are things good? I mean, if Cora Jade's happy and she's not in WWE, she might even be in a better place than those that are on the main roster that are not happy. I'm sure there's plenty of people on that main roster sat in catering that, you know, are contemplating leaving and thinking, is this right for them? And, you know, it not kind of going. It's amazing, isn't it, that someone like R-Truth, that's been around since the Attitude Era and has done all this different stuff, you know, has won the NWA Championship and had a hell of a career and is loved. It's crazy that, like, you know, he has got regrets. And there's things that he wishes that he had been a more serious competitor for longer, and that he didn't get into the comedy stuff as quickly as he did. It's crazy, isn't it, to think that there's people out there that have had such amazing careers, but even they're like, I wish I'd done this different, you know? I don't know that John Cena feels that way. I mean, if you're John Cena, you've won the lottery of life. If you're The Rock, you know, you've won the lottery of life. I mean, obviously that's what everyone wants, but that's only for a very, very few people. Most people won't ever be in WWE. Some might make it to NXT. Then they'll end up leaving. Some might make it to the main roster, never quite get going, and then end up leaving. Some might be around for a few years, then you just never know when your time is going to be up. The people that go on to have long main roster careers are very, very fortunate. So, you know, it's I think it's just about trying your best, doing your best, making the decisions you think are right for you, and just kind of, you know, focusing on your lane. And that really is the healthiest way to live your life. And I would hope that that's what she does. I understand it being very hard for her to kind of see people on the main roster and watch wrestling and think what could have been. Totally get it. That's normal. That's life. I get that. So it's not all rainbows and lollipops, but that's not going to help her in her life. She gets nothing out of doing that. That's certainly not going to help her mental health. And it's, you know, that is, I think, being a little bit stuck in the past. And really what she needs to be doing is thinking about what's next, moving forwards. You know, what's her life going to look like now? Where she is now? How does she make this work? Blah, 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 blah. So I hope that she's not kind of doing that, but I would understand if she was. And hopefully she can do something and focus on something constructive. Find a way forward. Benny said, I keep seeing Stevie Richards' quote on Logan Paul being better than the AEW roster. Do you agree? No, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. And I don't even know if he knows it's ridiculous. I can't tell if he's done it to get attention or if he's done it because, I don't know, he's trying to make a point, but it's a very ill thought out point. I mean, it doesn't make any sense to me. It doesn't make any sense. It's one of those that is so stupid that it gets attention. And that might just be why he said it. That might be it. He might have just said it to have got attention. There's a lot of people doing that in this world that are trying to get clicks and views and things along those lines. I mean, clearly he is not going to be a better in-ring performer than Will Ospreay, right? I think the point he's making is that he gets heat, and he's managed to get heat. But the thing is, he's had heat from the beginning because people genuinely don't like him. If you went and got a murderer out of prison and told everyone this is a murderer that we're going to, use in WWE, he's going to get booed. Do you know what I mean? People aren't going to feel warmth towards him. They're not going to appreciate him, right? They're not going to cheer for him. He's going to get heat. He's going to be booed. People aren't going to want to watch him. They aren't going to be, do you know what I mean? They're not going to want to, some people might not even tune in. I mean, that's not, he hasn't done any work for that. It's just as a person, people don't like him. And that's exactly the same with Logan. Granted, not as bad as being a murderer, right? That's an extreme example I just gave. But he is someone that people don't like. He hasn't done anything to get that heat. It's not like he's mastered the art of being a heel. You know, Stevie Richards is giving Logan credit for being hated and being booed as if he's mastered the art of being a heel, as if he's figured this out and knows how to be one of the true great heels. My pushback to that is, no, people boo him because of the Suicide Forest, because of the Crypto Zoo stuff, because of, all the flipping stuff that's in Prime that turns out is bad for kids, and, for all the obnoxious content that he's created. It's got absolutely nothing to do with heel work that he's doing. So what is it that we're actually praising? What is it that we're actually celebrating? I think we can all agree is not as good in ring as a Will Ospreay or a Swerve or a Darby Allin or so it's not that. If we're in agreement that he got his heat because of his actions outside the ring rather than what he's done in the ring, then there's nothing to praise there. So what is it we're praising? What is it that we're saying he is better than the AEW roster at? To me, I don't know. It's a nonsense. But I think part of me wonders if he said it to get attention, because I don't think he's an idiot. I mean, I'm pretty sure he can see what we can see, so I don't think he's an idiot. But yeah, I don't know. Perhaps it's just attention. I mean, as you said, it's not gone away. People have spoken about it. Obviously, the Logan fans have backed Logan. So, I mean, that's kind of kept the conversation going. But I think anyone that knows anything knows that that's a nonsense. Brother said, I always see Stevie's co-host thumbnails on YouTube. He's got an annoyingly concerned face that takes up half of the thumbnail. He's kind of changed his style, hasn't he, that guy? I used to like him, but I don't know. I think it's easy to fall into the trap that he has fallen into, actually. No shade. But I think that if you're looking for views and you're looking for engagement, one thing I've learned is that talking about trending topics is obviously going to help. So that means talking about things that are being spoken about, right? So, for example, if Ryback comes out and makes some crazy comment, right, doing a video on that is going to get you views. And that's the kind of content that guy does. And then, as you said, it's very easy to have like a moody face and to put a video out about it, talk about it, and, get the views from it. The problem you've got is that a lot of the content that he's putting out is the moodier side of wrestling. And, that's a conscious decision that I've made to not try and go down that road. I want to make sure that's why when we do Unseen, it's the news, it's a fun folder, it's a little bit of community stuff in there. Like, I'm trying to get a bit of everything in there. I'm trying to make sure that we don't descend. Because I do think it's really easy. And certainly in 2025, where it's not been a brilliant year for WWE, I do think I'm guilty of, allowing the streams to become very negative. I think, though, when the topic comes up of 2025 and it not being very good, everyone's got their opinions on it. And so when I look in the chat, all I see is reasons why this year sucks, it can be very hard to climb out of that. very hard to, steer the conversation back to something more positive. So, I don't know. I'm not going to beat myself up about it, but I do try to not kind of fall into that pit and stay there and wallow in it, I don't want to. I'm not looking to do that. So, but I do think that's what's happened with some of these other channels. I think it's very easy to get views off the negative things, and just stay there. Really, if it works, you stick with it, don't you? Toy hunts were working for me and this channel back in the day, and so it was like, okay, well, if people like that, let's do more of those. So we, once a month, once every couple of months, we would do another one. People would enjoy them. Brilliant. I think it's easy to kind of deliver some content of something that's a bit negative, something that's a bit moody, and go, oh, that's worked. Let's do more of that. I'm not knocking anyone for it. This isn't a knock. I'm just saying that, that's a trap that I have tried to not fall into. We do the show breakdowns, which is just reacting to the shows. And we do the unseens, which, as we said, has a fun aspect. And I think it was on this stream, wasn't it? Earlier, I was like, we need to get more fun onto the channel. Need to find a way of getting, like, how do we get some more? We're doing Wrestle Feud, so those shorts are coming. Is it worth doing a weekly roundup of the fun folder? So my head is, like, trying to make sure that we keep those fun aspects around. So, yeah, I don't know. Each to their own. I think it's a easy pit to fall into. Daryl said, I meant if we fantasy booked the elimination match between Roman, Cody, Punk, and Lesnar. Okay. Roman, Cody, Punk, and Lesnar. Completely out of context. With, like, not knowing any builds. I would say starting point is who do you want to put over, and you work backwards. So I would look at Cody, Roman, Punk, and Lesnar. I would go, I don't want to put Lesnar over because of the Janelle Grant stuff. I don't feel comfortable with it, so he's not going over. So that leaves me with Punk, Roman, Cody. Roman's just had the greatest run of his career, one of the greatest runs of all time. I don't feel a need to put Roman over. I think he's had his run. So I would eliminate Roman for that reason, right? That brings me down to Punk and Cody. I think Cody deserves a great run. He's not had it yet. He deserves his bloodline run where we just tell great stories and it's really enjoyable. And I think he deserves that. So I would have him as, like, in my mind as putting him over. But equally, I don't think Punk has had that run, has he, with a belt. So he would also be in my mind to kind of put over. I think knowing where the fans are online right now, I think they would want Punk going over, right? I don't know if that would be true of the wider audience, but I think it might be. I think Cody's got his supporters. Kids love Cody and everything. But I think IWC would react better if it was Punk, and I don't think you'd get too many grumbles from the wider audience. So as of right now, I think Punk might be the right person to go with. I think that the way you would book it is you would have... Damn, it's a hard one. I would have Cody eliminated first by Brock to get... The reason why I would do that is because I think Brock is the heel. And so you need Brock, a shock at the start. Cody, a lot of people would have picked to have won it, is out first. Brock wins. That means that then you've got Brock, Punk, Roman. Next person out is Brock because I don't want him progressing. And then that gets you down to Roman and Punk and splits the crowd a bit, that, to be honest. But who doesn't want to see Roman versus Punk? I think that's a match people really want to see. So this way, Cody's out, and he's out because of a heel. Brock then gets eliminated, leaving Roman, Punk, and that's a dream match for a lot of people. And I think that's when we get down to Roman, Punk, and I'd have Punk go over. And I'd have Punk win because, as I said, I think Roman's already had his run. And Punk has not really had a run at the top yet. He's, he's a top guy, and he's got a heavyweight championship now, but, I mean, he's only just won it. So I don't know what this Eliminator match is for. I don't know when it's happening. I don't know where it's happening. I don't know. I don't know the builds. I don't know anything, right? But just as of right now, if I had those 4 wrestlers and I was having to book something like now, that's the kind of thing I'd be looking at. I would be kind of a bit like, man, is that the right call? Should I have backed Cody? I tell you, if I go Cody, I do the exact same match and it's Punk that gets eliminated first. Punk gets eliminated first, and then it's Brock, and then it leaves me Roman, Cody. The great rivals. Only this time, both of them baby faces. And I have Cody go over. And actually, Cody going over a babyface Roman... I don't know. That's a really interesting match, actually. I think I prefer the Roman Punk match anyway. So actually, I think the first way we did it was the right way. It just makes me feel a bit better about the first way we did it, actually. Getting down to Roman Punk, I think, is a good final too. So there we go. William said, Daze gives things to Tommy when he wants them murdered. That does sound like me, actually. Right, we are going to Evolve, where the flip is the show. Did I load it up a bit too soon? Is this like the UK version or something? Evolve. Boom. There she is. There you are. There you are. Let's get rid of that. November 19th. That's the one. Okay, I've got the show. We're going to be underway. PJ Vassar is going to be in action against Callie Armstrong. As well as that, we're going to be seeing... what's her name? Lana Steele, is it? Lena Sterling? I don't know this girl. She's an LFG talent, isn't she? I don't know. Lena Sterling, I think her name is. All right. No, it's that one. So, yeah, I'm excited to see what she's going to be bringing. Okay, I've got it queued up, but I've not pressed play yet. We will be getting underway as soon as we hit the hour mark. Daze, could Mattel make AAA wrestling figures, says Defcon. Defcon, hello? I don't know, actually. I think if they're signed under a WWE contract, which I think they all are now, I think we could start seeing some AAA figures coming out. Yeah, that'd be a really good question for them. Really, I'd imagine they'd be very interested in getting a Mr. Iguana to market. So, yes, I think that is... I'm under the impression that is something that we could see. Okay, here we go. Then, now, Forever Together. We are underway with Evolve. Last week we had the Keanu Carver Jackson Drake match. Her nickname on LFG was the Oxymoron. Lena Sterling says, Xena Sterling. Oh, Xena Sterling. My bad. My bad. Sorry, Z-Dog. Right, we are hovering around... Yeah, look, we've literally started with that Callie Armstrong promo. I knew it. I knew it. I knew I was right to not play it. I could have literally shown the first couple of minutes of this week's Evolve on this stream, and I would have been in big trouble. Because, fun fact, I'm not Tubi. Straight like that. Boom. Dun, dun, dun. I'm a G like Callie. I still need to find out what this song is. Guys, I'm going to chat GPT it. Because I need to download it. What is the Evolve theme? Okay, Jax Presley and Harley Riggins. Does it not flipping? No. Just keeps coming back with, if you're talking about the style of music, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, what's the theme song? I'm a G like Ali. That one. I've even put in I'm a G like Ali. It's a track by artist A$AP Ferg from his album Still Striving. The song East Coast. Okay. Oh, come on, I'm writing that down. East Coast. Yeah, who is this team? Hey, who are you? They're a bunch of chumps. Who is it? It's not music. OTM. It's OTM. Is that good? I feel like that was hyped up to be something bigger than that. We just don't see OTM very often, do we? I like them. I ain't got nothing against them, but we just don't see them very often. Flipping. So Robert Stone said, should these guys have another week to prep for this? Prehistoric Vintage said, Evolve Crew tonight. Yes, Evolve Crew. A$AP Ferg. I think we all thought it was A$AP Ferg. I want to know if that's true though. I'm gonna search for it. Okay, the bell has sounded. A$AP Ferg, East Coast. I'm not sure that is it. Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay. I'll have to look into it. The mystery goes on. If you're hearing I'm a G like Ali in the opening lyric, it's most likely A$AP Ferg's East Coast, which was associated with the Evolve brand. Oh, well, it must be that then. Perhaps I'm at a different point in the song. This guy's rapping really quickly. It's not the same song. I'm a G like Ali. That one. This sucks. Shoulder tackle there. Kick coming in. Maybe it's one from his older album. I don't know. It says East Coast 2017. What album did it say it was on? Still Striving. It's from the album Still Striving. I wonder if it's just got that line in it. It's got that I'm a G like Ali line. And so ChatGPT just thinks it's the same song. So I might have to Shazam it at the start. It might just be a piece of music they made for Evolve, but I've been singing it every week. Okay, right now, over in the corner, tag being made. If you're just joining us, Presley and Riggins against OTM. Double back elbow by OTM there, in control. Going for the cover, 1, 2. No, kick out. Kick out by the big man. This is their first tag match in Evolve, apparently, for OTM. Who Review said, I love Evolve. Big boot coming in. Against the ropes. Bang! Slam down. Let's go. Lucian Price. Bronco on the outside. Over in the corner, tag being made. Through the ropes to the outside. Chop block. Harley Riggins with a chop block. That was nice. I like it. Yeah, working on the knee. That looks pretty good, actually. Stepping through. Okay. Swing and a miss. Shot coming in there by Riggins. Tag being made. Lucian Price doing a bit of selling. He goes down. It's just a bit cold, isn't it, this opening match? It's not really their fault. Bang. It's just, I suppose, a showcase is the right words. It's 4 big guys. And they're all in black as well. Everyone's in black. I mean, I don't know if maybe they could bring a bit of colour into their gear a little bit. Might not be right for some of them. Bang. Working on the legs, going down. There's a couple of nice little moments where they're working together and kick out. Daze, OTM's theme sounds like Jada Parker's old theme. Well, she used to be with them, didn't she? She was with OTM. Trying to think that she was kind of paired with one of the teams. I think it was OTM. She just quietly kind of drifted away from them. Over in the corner, headbutt. Riggins. Bang, knees to the back. Xena Sterling still to come. 1, 2. Shoulder up. It's not really grabbed the crowd either, has it? I mean, you can tell the crowd are a bit flat. I think there's not much of... I think part of the problem is both of these teams are heels as well, are they not? There's no one to root for. Over in the corner, charging in. There's no one to, like, root for. There's no one to cheer for. There's clothesline, back elbow, big boot. Bronco is in. He gets slammed down. He gets murked. He's about to get murked. Bang. Riggins gets thrown on top of Presley right now. We got them both against the ropes. G-Ride. We're G-Riding. Says Robert Stone as we're just going. That's pretty fun, though, from side to side. Crowd are like that. He's at least come in and fired up the fans a bit here, hasn't he? Bit of energy, explosive. Presley makes the save, only just. Prehistoric said no one really knows them either. That's true. Roper said OTM are a good team. I think we need them on the main roster. Clothesline. I think there are some NXT teams that you might take a chance on. You could maybe do something with Hank and Tank. Oh, shot coming in. Kick coming in. Doesn't feel like Dark State already, but... It's weird, isn't it? The NXT tag division, actually. It's really not in a very strong place. Okay, Lucian is in. 1, 2, 3. OTM pick up the victory, and it was a showcase. That's the best way I can say. They put in the work, but it was a cold setup. Crowd were a bit quiet. There wasn't much engaging with the crowds to, like, bring them in. But as I said, I think both teams are heels as well. So, I mean, Jesus, these teams had everything stacked against them. OTM, get the victory. They're not going to care. OTM, get the victory. And here's Timothy Thatcher. Big smile on his face. He comes out and applauds Presley and Riggins. Good job, OTM. Good job, guys. Great work. You lot. You bums. Okay, PJ Vassar getting a profile. PJ Vasa. Come get your issue. She's made quite the impression. I love that. I love that. You can see how they're presenting her here. PJ Vasa, Callie Armstrong, mate. PJ Vasa. You probably go PJ Vasa, don't you? Because Callie surely on her way. Oh, Carmen Petrovic. Haven't seen Carmen Petrovic in a little while. Carmen Petrovic going to be in action then. She is going to be taking on Zena Sterling. Okay, we just got an advert for Survivor Series. Survivor Series. I'm a survivor. I'm gonna make it. Keep on surviving. Sonny, shout out to you. Sonny's got popcorn. Daze, I asked Google, and it comes up with no reverse as the theme. No reverse. That's what it's called. Oh. Okay, let me search that. Commercial break zone. No reverse. No reverse song. There's probably a lot of songs that are called no reverse, isn't there? Is there Evolve theme song? Evolve. Evolution. It's not going to be that, is it? No. We'll find it one day. What is this? What about... I've got some woman crying in my ear. What's this? Oh, it's some charity thing. Okay, I'll let her off. Okay, there was some woman crying. I'm like, what's going on? Now I've got an advert for a mattress. Johnny said, I tagged you in the song. It's called Curse by Iris. Is it? God, we were miles off. It's called Curse by Iris. Johnny, thank you. Let's have a look and see. I need to confirm. It does actually sound like it. And do you know what? It sounds actually really good. I haven't found the bit yet, but it does sound like it's in the right neighborhoods. And actually, I'm listening to it going, actually, do you know what? This is banging. This is so good. Johnny, thank you. What I'll do is I'll retweet it for anyone that wants to check it out. I don't know why it's took us 38 weeks, but here we are. Okay, we're just learning about Zena Sterling. She's always been up for a challenge. She done Iron Man's. I bet she is. I'm ready for the whole world to know my name. Okay. Strong, bubbly. Okay, officially signed to Evolve. She's got a bit of a challenge. She's going to be taking on Carmen and her swords. Carmen and her swords. Not seen her in a hot minute. She was getting used quite a bit in NXT, wasn't she? And then she just sort of faded away. Do you remember she was in a pairing with Ashanti and they were like a couple? Carries the katana spirit. Johnny, yeah, appreciate it. It's 2025 new metal bands. Oh. It's not really my kind of music that I would normally listen to, but I like it. And it seems like a lot of other people like it as well, because this video has been viewed 150 times. So that means at least 149 other people like it. Right, we are underway. Carmen Petrovic against Xena Sterling. First time seeing Xena Sterling, although I think I've seen a clip of her from LFG. Is she the girl that has the sweaty hands? Back in the corner, she, a bit of a test of strength there, drives Carmen Petrovic back. Right now, she's got her arm up. She's looking for another bit of a test of strength. I don't know why Carmen's doing this. It's clear you're not going to win. She's got the size advantage. Yeah, Carmen is trying. Okay, she breaks it. Takes down Xena one. No joy. Kick out. Headlock, trying to keep her grounded. Carmen on her feet. Side headlock. Carmen against the ropes. Over the other side. PJ Vassar. That is going to be good, actually, isn't it? That is going to be good. PJ Vassar against Callie Armstrong. Carmen goes up. She gets back down. Daze, remember when you said all the kids are going to run down to the ring and pick up John Cena like Oompa Loompas? I don't remember saying that, but it does sound like the kind of thing I would say. Is that for his final match? Xena working on the arm of Carmen. That would be beautiful, actually. All the children coming through the stands, down the entranceway, picking up John Cena. Obviously, those directly under Cena won't be able to cope, so they'll get crushed. But, you know, they'll be great for all the others that are just celebrating. And then just a few that are under John going, can you get him off me? Mom! That's what I'd like to see for Saturday night's main event. Here's Xena. Oh, look at that. She went full on Hillbilly Jim for a second there. Do you remember when Hillbilly Jim used to do that? A lot of people do, you know, Hogan and Warrior flex like that, but Hillbilly Jim was always like that. I think even his action figure, his LJN, was doing that pose. Well, it looks like that's a big inspiration to Xena Sterling because she just did it as well. She's a Hillbilly Jim stan. Nice suplex. Really nice suplex, actually. Right now, she's got Carmen down. She's ragdolling her around. Keeping her grounded. Determined face. Carmen trying to get back up. Crowd her into the match a bit more. There's a bit of clapping and applauding going on. Jennifer said it's Battle of the Blondes. Oh, that was nice. 1, 2. Oh, I think that should have been the finish. She grabs her, side slams her, but the snap on it was really good. And actually, the sell from Carmen was really good because she was like... She seemed to really sell it. That could be a little finish. Maybe not permanently. But just in the short term, that was a nice little... That was good. Carmen over against the ropes. Zayna is over the other side, charging over, but Carmen, shot to the midsection. Zayna again, another shot to the midsection. You can see when she sort of runs over, it's obviously feels a bit predetermined, like she's not really, it's like, here I come. Make sure you do your move, whatever you're going to do. I don't think that went to plan, did it? I think, was that meant to be a sling blades? Yeah, I think, was that meant to be a sling blade? Because she kind of jumped and pulled her, and Zayna Sterling just sort of spun round. Zayna Sterling, turned into a stunner. I think we've gone a bit too long in this match, you know. I think we've got a bit sloppy here. I'm pretty sure that was meant to be a sling blades. Petrifier. 1, 2, 3. Yeah. Okay. Carmen Petrovic wins. I think there's maybe a few elements in there that didn't quite go according to plan. Yeah, do you know what? That'd be a really fun match to sit down with Zayna Sterling and kind of break down. Shing shing. Here come the money. Shing shing. Zayna Sterling in the corner. Carmen Petrovic picks up a win against a good-sized opponent. So the first match you lot said was good 100. I think that's very kind. And we'll have to see what you thought about this second match. Okay, I don't know who this person is. We've got Tate Wilder, but I don't know who he's talking to. Let's... Oh, here's Sean Legacy. Oh, Sean's... what's this? This isn't like Sean. That's not like him. He's a bit jealous. That's not like Sean Legacy. Sean Legacy normally goes around and he goes up to people and is like, hey, you're going to do this. You're the man. And like, is really encouraging. And now we've got him going, hey, I thought you would pick me to be your partner. And he's all like, it's weird. What's that about? I thought he was Mr. Motivator. NXT Gold Rush. Oh, yeah, a couple of Evolve Championships being defended next week. Oh, mate, she got slapped the shiz out of her. Bah! Laney Reed, Kendal Gray, that's coming up on NXT next week. We have just put the belt onto JC. I hope we don't take the belt off Kendal unless we're doing it because she's getting called up. Super Sean Legacy is going to be getting an opportunity at the title as well. Are we ever going to see Tony or Luca again? Luca came down for a short time and then just disappeared. That's a good shout, that is. I don't know what's happening with those guys. It's a good shout. Will we see them again? I hope so. I like Luca. I think the gimmick of being a lawyer, you can definitely do some stuff with that. I like how Chelsea had Luca write up her recent... What was it for? Oh, yeah, it was because Joe Hendry did that song about her. and she wasn't happy about it, so she reached out to Luca to get it taken down. So I did see Luca getting mentioned at least recently. Jennifer said Carmen's kicks look decent. Yeah, she's always had good striking like that, to be honest. I do agree. It all goes down in New York City. There he is. Super Sean Legacy is going to be watching this in the VIP lounge that has made a glorious return. Okay, Trill London was that person that I didn't recognize. Coming in from LFG. I'm going to have to watch LFG, aren't I? Because flipping hell. Okay, I'm not down on that mask. I'm not down on that mask. Here come the axe. Here come the smasher with demolition. It's giving those vibes. Let's go. So, Tate Wilder, Trill London, they're in action. Do we know who they're facing? I don't know who they're facing. I did not miss the VIP section, said Jennifer. Wow, Jennifer. Some of us feel very comfortable around VIP sections. So I, for one, am very pleased to see it return. Because if ever I go to Evolve, I can only imagine that that VIP section would be opened up for me and opened up for anyone in this community. So it's what we deserve. It's what we deserve. Oh, it's swipe white, right? Hondos! Hondos! Yes. Let's go. Swipe right. Dun-dun-dun. Swipe right. Wrestling fan, thank you. A bit of a dark side from Legacy, said Prehistoric Vintage. Are we turning Sean heel, said Bishop? I don't think we are. I don't think we're turning him heel, but I'm not sure. It'd be a choice, wouldn't it? He's been the ultimate babyface. I think what might happen is he'll come. Jackson Drake gets involved. Sean Legacy's there to get involved. I mean, Sean Legacy and Jackson Drake are having a match next week. So it makes sense that Jackson Drake gets involved. That's going to bring in Sean Legacy. This thing might get booked as a 6-man for next week or something, but okay, Jeff Hardy is Trill London's idol. Takeover there of Ricky Smokes. Let's get rid of the poll, shall we? Because I don't want people getting confused as to what we're voting on right now. So you said that last match was good 92. Good 92 for that last match. Okay, Trill London looking really fun here, actually. We know that Swipe Right are a really good team. I'm surprised they've not took them to NXT yet. Tag being made. Here's Tate. He comes in, crashing down, working on the arm of Ricky. Tate in there. We've got Brad Baylor on the outside. Oh, Tate. Ooh, that's pretty good work. I like that. I like that. I see. In the ring, working on the arm. Knee coming in. Tag being made. In comes Brad Baylor. Over he goes. Again, working on the arm. Comes over. Tag being made. Trill London. Goes over. Okay. Oh, that was sick. Takeover. That's nice. Drop kick. Good. 1, 2. Trill going over, grabbing Brad Baylor. He's come in with a real ball of energy. Goes over in the corner, back elbow. Kind of really interested in his ring gear as well because it's different. It fits his character. I feel like it could evolve a little bit more, but I don't mind that, like, cross. I feel like whatever he wears on his top, that needs to be his logo. So I don't know what that shirt is, but it would be good if, like, whatever it was like his logo. Big boot. I don't know if that is his logo. To kick out. Right now, stomp coming in there by Ricky Smokes. I think that Trill is in a secret organization that I can't talk about, said Joseph. Is that the vibe you get? What, from the ring gear? That's got to be this shirt thing, though, hasn't it? And the logo. Takes him over. Right now, Brad Baylor. Bang, nice work. Trill in trouble. He's getting double teamed. 1, 2, kick out. Trill has got some Javon vibes, said Steve. It's like the Knights Templar, said Stand and Deliver. I can see that, actually, yeah. I can see that. It does have Knights Templar, which, in all fairness, could be worse, couldn't it? If you're going to get... It is like casual Knights Templar. It's Knights Templar going to the bar. It's off-duty Knights Templar. It's trendy off-duty Knights Templar, actually. That's what it's giving. Shot coming in there by Trill. And again, I don't know. I think that'd be a real difficult one to give feedback on because that is just his style, isn't it? So it's like... You don't want to just put him in trunks like every other wrestler. I mean, you know, you've got to have... you've got to allow them to express themselves. Going up. Bang! Trill comes down, takes out both of Swipe Right. Tate Wilder on the outside, reaching for that tag. Trying to come in to make the tag. Here we go. Boom! Over in clothesline. Tate Wilder again. Knocking out Brad Baylor over the other side. Boom! Lovely sell there by Brad Baylor. That was really good. He gets up, kick to the midsection. Looking for a suplex. No! Lovely. 1, 2. No, not enough. Pete Rosenberg wondered if it was enough. We're going over to the VIP section. Down he goes. Roll through there by Brad Baylor. Shoulder up. Charge it. Big knee there by Brad Baylor. Tag being made. Duck underneath over the other side. Down goes Trill. Lovely teamwork. Drop kick. Swipe right. 1, 2. No, didn't get it. Jackson Drake on the outside telling Swipe Right you were this close. We've not seen Jackson Drake get involved yet, and as such we haven't seen Sean Legacy get involved. Trill, top rope Insguri, roll through, reverse. Brad Baylor almost getting pinned. Drop kick to the outside. Is Trill going to go? Is Trill going to go over? Are they both going to go over? Here we go. Against the ropes. Trill does go over the top. Down go Swipe Right. They're saying that Trill held his ankle. Sent on to the outsides. Steve said, when every one of these new wrestlers say Jeff Hardy is the idol, what goes through your heads? Risk taking. Aerial. 1, 2, 3. And it's a pin there by Tate. What goes through my head is risk taking. aerial moves, swantons, that's what I associate with Jeff. I hear quite a few saying it. I think it just shows how inspirational Jeff and the Hardys were. It does sort of mean that you're going to need to do some a bit special. I feel like, you know, jumping over the top to the outside, it's not that special. There's a lot of moves that get done, actually, where you're like, yeah, that's fine. That's fine. It's hard, isn't it? I don't know what you can do, really. I don't know what you can show me that I've not seen or that can really impress. I thought Trill looked good. I mean, he's not Javon, but I can understand the thoughts of Javon. Oh, Ariana Grace. Ariana Grace is here. Well, okay, that dude's not happy. Ariana Grace has made her way out. He is bouncy, said Joseph. Ariana Grace has gone into the VIP area. Give me that. You're welcome. This must be a dream come true for you. Her biggest regret is she won't get to meet herself. Okay. So she's in the... she belongs in that VIP section. You might as well call that the Ariana Grace section. Okay, here's Kendal. I respect you. Once I take care of PJ Vassar, you know I'm coming back for my rematch. Okay, Kendal against Chantel is coming up, but coming up next, PJ Vassar, Callie Armstrong. This is going to bang, mate. This is going to be a lot of fun. Looking forward to this one. Ariana is trying out a Blair Monroe type character. Vanity Project feels weird without Zeta Steele, said Steve. Callie and Kendal, yep. Bit of respect being shown, but also, you know, she was like, don't get too carried away. This is going to hit hard, said Joseph. Steve said, Kendal, Callie 2 will be good when it happens. Jeff Hardy is like the Neymar of wrestling, says Asib. I don't know, what is this? What am I looking at? Some football fans are born ready. You better believe it, NFL. Okay. If Trill comes out with the Holy Grail, we're all in trouble, said Joseph. Okay, yeah, that's it was fine, that last match. I mean, it didn't really like blow my mind. I thought Trill was looking pretty good. I don't know if that team with Tate has got a future. It doesn't really feel like it, but okay, Drake Moreau. He's from the Bayou. Okay. This is the 2025 Skinner. He needs to be chewing tobacco. There we go. He is going to be coming soon. Why is there no Evolve next week? What's this? Evolve returns on Wednesday, December 3rd. But what about next week? What about the 26th? Have I missed something? Why are they saying that it's going to be back? Okay, Kendal Gray coming out with Carly Bright. I didn't even think these two were together anymore. Kendal Gray and Carly Bright. Is she going to the VIP section? Is Ariana Grace not there? Oh, yeah, she is. Ariana Grace is like lying on the whole sofa at the moment. Okay, yeah, here's Kendal. Kendal tells Ariana to move over. Kendal sits down next to Ariana. Ariana doesn't look thrilled about it. Carly sits down. I think Ariana might be leaving, actually. I'm good. Yeah, no, she's gone. She's gone. She feels like that VIP section has just got downgraded. I disagree, but... Okay, here's Timothy Thatcher. He's kind of acting as the GM at the moment. You need a bit of respect. You need focus. Evolve is taped, isn't it? I thought it was. Yeah, it is, yeah. That's why I don't really understand why it's not around next week. Harley Jacks. Okay. Okay, so we're going to do a tag team showcase to show Presley and Riggins what tag team wrestling is really all about. Okay, here's PJ. I don't really know what that means, but PJ Vassar making her way down. She's got to look good here. I mean, this is a tricky one actually because it's a great match, but we haven't really built PJ Vassar up for it. And I sort of feel like both women need to look good in this match. Callie is such a, she's been brilliant in Evolve. Maybe she gets murked and then goes to NXT. It's hard, isn't it? Because on the booking, you've got booking and then you need both of them to get ring time. I mean, I think they're going to book it as a 50-50, but it'd be a hell of a statement if PJ Vassar just murked Callie Armstrong. All gas, no brakes. PJ Fatu said 230. That's a good name. That's good. Do we think the next few months Evolve should have a pay-per-view like NXT UK had? I don't think there's enough viewers of Evolve. If you look at like how many people tune into the Evolve video that goes onto the YouTube channel, it's like 40,000-50,000. It's really low. So unfortunately, they've not managed to find a way of... I don't know what the numbers are like on Tubi, but if you look at the numbers on YouTube, they're not great. Certainly when you think that they've got over 100 million subscribers, and the episodes are doing like 40,000-50,000. Obviously, though, you got to remember, I don't think they're available in America because I don't think they are, because obviously they want you to tune into Tubi. But either way, it's still pretty low numbers. So I don't think you can do a pay-per-view. Or if you was, you're going to have to really bring in some NXT talent to, boost sales. I think probably what they'll want to do is like the Succession thing, where they just tape it before NXT. So they go to the NXT arena, do like, you know, the matches they've been building towards, just record it before NXT in front of that NXT crowd, do it as a special, rather than, you know, it being on a Saturday night. It gets its own sort of, you know, thing, and you try and sell tickets or whatever. But then, I don't know, should you dream big? I mean, you could do it, but you'd have to really bring in a lot of NXT talent and really have a lot of cross-promoting, and I don't think we're quite there yet. Callie in the corner, we are underway. So this is, I think, our main event. What time? Oh, yeah, it is going to be our main event. God, that's gone by quickly. We've had a lot of matches, actually, though. PJ Vassar grabbing a hold of Callie. Shoulder barge there. Down goes Callie. Yes. PJ Vassar showing off her strength. Yeah, this Evolve returns. Going over, roll up, no. Kick out there by PJ Vassar. Nice, good work there by Callie. PJ Vassar goes over, kick out. She gets up, shot coming in there by Callie. Over the other side, Callie goes up. Over, PJ Vassar goes over. Charges in, drop kick, down goes PJ Vassar. She goes to the outside. So right now, PJ Vassar finding herself on the receiving end of a Callie beatdown. Johnny said, we have to sit through boring and repeated women's matches on the main roster when they've got all these girls stuck in NXT and Evolve. I can't wait to watch Jade versus Michin crying face. Yeah, I hear you. If the MFTs did need a female, even though she's new, PJ would fit perfectly. She would. Again, though, is she ready for the main roster? I mean, we're obviously quite low down the totem pole. But, you know, if they need a woman maybe in 2027, 2028, it's probably that kind of range, isn't it? I think before she's going to get to the main roster. There's Callie going over, spear into the corner. Use your speeds. Bang, suplex. Going for the cover. 1, 2, kick out. Daze advantage. JC has going for her is mic skills. Garnering heel reactions. I mean, good in the ring. With Jada, Lola, Kalani, they all individually have different strengths and weaknesses. Yes. Hello, Wrestle with Andy. I hope you're well. Do we think that Survivor Series will have any big surprises? Might be The Rock's last chance to interact with Cena. I'm not envisaging any big surprises. No, I mean, I'm not aware of anyone that's free. I do agree it might be The Rock's last chance to interact with Cena, because if he does it at Saturday night's main event, he runs the risk of not overshadowing, but taking a bit of the spotlight away. I'd say if you want to do a Rock moment, Survivor Series is the better place to do it, because really it's, you know, John's spotlight, isn't it? I think The Rock as well. I mean, he said he didn't want to do WrestleMania because he didn't want to take away from John. I think he's very aware of not stealing any spotlight, so maybe there's a chance, but I don't know if he's free. I mean, you know what his filming schedule's like. Bang! You can never really trust, can you? Whenever he's going to be free. Kick out there by Callie. PJ Vassar is chucking Callie around. She is doing a really good job, actually, of murking Callie Armstrong. She's keeping Callie grounded. Nice facial expressions here by PJ Vassar. Callie getting up to her feet. Elbow coming into the midsection. And again. Shots coming in. No, big blow coming down as Callie goes down. Scoops her up. Bang. Slams her down. Elbow. Misses. Callie moves out the way. PJ Vassar trying to get up to her feet. She's going to look to charge over. Shot coming in there by Callie again. Shots coming in. Oh, look at the little shuffle. Yes. Down goes PJ. Back elbow. Callie coming back into the match. Clothesline. Swing and a miss. PJ against the ropes. Bang. Power slam by Callie. 1, 2. PJ Vassar kicks out. PJ Vassar kicks out. Carly Bright says that was impressive. Oh, breaking news. Ariana Grace is going to be taking on Carly Bright on December 3rd. Shots coming in there by Callie. Kick coming into the midsection. Callie goes over to the other side. She loves doing that, actually. Running over, jumping off that turnbuckle, landing, and then using it to build up some momentum. And eye poke on the shoulders. The issue. Count, ref. 1, 2. Why was the ref like that? The ref was like, why did he not want to count there momentarily? I don't know. There was just a moment where the ref was like, it's like he forgot what to do. PJ Vassar gets the win over Callie Armstrong, but there was a bit of eye poking going on. Come get your issue. So it was a rake of the eyes, actually. What was the ref doing? I don't know. I don't know, because if he saw the eye thing, he should disqualify her. Okay, PJ Vassar is going off on Kendal right now. Oh, Kendal gets murked by Chantel. Kendal gets murked by Chantel. Here's Carly Bright coming round. So Kendal against Chantel. Well, I mean, that surely means that Kendall's not losing to Laney next week then. I mean, of course, we can always change it, but... Okay, what's happening now? Now we've got Riggins and Presley. God, it's chaos. We know that we'll break anyone out there. Make the call. Are they calling Tony Khan? Well, there we go. I think they've just given a call to AEW. So, there we go. That was this week's Evolve. I don't know what it was about that last match with Callie and PJ. They just never seemed to quite get the crowd. Like, the crowd were okay, but it was, I don't know, man, that fight, I don't think we'd built PJ Vassar up enough. I also don't think there's enough of her, you know, doing like some emotes or screaming out or whatever, or, I mean, it is weird seeing someone like PJ Vassar not delivering like a super kick, you know? Like, some of those traditional type moves. I think there's a style of wrestling that you kind of associate with the bloodline. The Samoans, headbutts, for example. You know, things like that. Samoan drops and things like this. I didn't really detect that sort of moveset out of her, which is a choice. I don't know why we moved away from that. I mean, it could be a conscious decision of I don't want to just do the stereotypical thing, which I could understand. But I don't know, if you've got that look and you've got those mannerisms, that's kind of, that feels like it's part of the package for me. Samoan drops, headbutts, you know, things along those lines. And there just wasn't that kind of stuff that was in there. I know she can't do like a Samoan spike, but like spears and all of that goes mentally with that package. It just sort of felt like I was watching a girl, just like any girl, really, just wrestling. She had some good power, and there was the odd emote I would probably turn that up a little bit more. Bigger power moves that when you hit them, do you know what I mean? Kind of a thing. Yeah, really get across like I'm a wrecking machine. It just felt a little bit too normal. Just felt a little bit too like any women's match. So, and a few little bits in there that I would love to tweak and see, but a few things in there I'd love to see evolve. But that's why we love the show, because it's really interesting to see kind of where they are now and wonder about where they're going to be as we move forward. But really good raw ingredients for PJ Vassar. I mean, I think she's got a lot of potential, and obviously we know about Callie already. But I didn't feel like that brought out the best in Callie either. I didn't even think Callie was like that great in that match. Normally, genuinely, there is a match in Evolve where we go, mate, I think that was great, you know, and we really enjoy it. And you know, I think Meltzer gave Kendal against Callie 4 stars. That was from that Succession one. Some of the tag matches have been really good with like Cappuccino Jones and Jack Cartwheel. And there has been some genuinely like really great matches. I don't think this week had any. I don't think there was any match this week that really like delivered. So a little bit of a shame. But you are going to get that, aren't you? You know, as people are trying to work things out. I don't think for a second Chantel has got a chance of beating Kendal, said Steve. The ref looked a bit intimidated by the girls, said Jennifer. Judith said Carmen should be getting the same treatment that Maxine is getting, but nope, which sucks. Carmen is miles better than Maxine. I would like a Becky faction. Maybe Carmen could join it and could help get her eyes on her. Draco says good night. Sean said Ariana Grace has been doing good on NXT and TNA when she's shown up there. Jennifer said the crowd were kind of a bit mild. They were. I know they do tape a lot of shows in a row. If there is a break next week, and it certainly seemed like there is, then perhaps we've reached the end of the tapings and perhaps the crowd were a little bit burnt out. I mean, obviously they don't just watch this. They watch a few episodes being taped. So I wonder if they were just a little burnt out. Which, if that's what's happened, you can understand it. Just a bit of a shame, though, isn't it? Yeah, it's not a big problem. I mean, it's Evolve. You know, it's not a massive problem. You can't really have any massive problems. I mean, even if you do a botch, as long as no one gets injured, we can have a little bit of a joke about it, and then, you know, we just move on, don't we? It's Evolve. I think everyone that watches this knows that the talent are evolving, learning, developing. I think there is, hopefully, a lot of leeway for error, mistakes, you know, matches not landing. It's, you know, the great thing I think about this show is that when it's done, you just wipe the slate clean and on we go to the next week, you know. I don't really have any long-lasting thoughts about the talent other than if I like them or if I still feel they need to develop. But if they need to develop, let's see what they bring next time, you know. Yeah, I mean, we got to look at Xena Sterling. Obviously, we got to see PJ Vassar against Callie Armstrong. On paper, it looked to be a good match. In reality, it was fine. But I don't think it was anything more than that. Tag match was the struggle for me. I think the tag match was the match I really struggled with. But I don't know. It just sort of felt like it was a bit cold. And like I think both teams were heels. And there wasn't really anyone to root for. There was maybe a couple of moments. But yeah, I kind of struggled a bit with that. I don't know. I do like Evolve. I really like Evolve. I think it's been really fun watching. We're still going to continue watching. It would be good if we could find a way of getting some more interesting stories going. It does feel a little bit like sometimes it feels like it's NXT level up where we just do matches. And then we just try and find some pretty loose reasons as to why we're doing them. Do you know what I mean? It's like we've took NXT level up and we've just sort of repackaged it as a brand, which is exactly what we're doing. And, you know, thankfully we've got a champion. and champions, and that does make a difference. And we do have a roster, even though some of those people obviously get used on NXT as well, which is absolutely fine. It's good to see that crossover. We do have a roster of people, and we do tell some stories. I think I'd like to just see that go a little bit further, you know. But I like it. I just think this was maybe, if you've never watched it before, maybe not the right week to tune in. I think there's been much, much stronger weeks than this week. What do we think about WWE after John Cena's retirement? What's next for WWE, said Mr. Dell Jr. Oh, WWE is going to be fine. WWE was fine before John Cena. It's going to be fine after John Cena. And in fact, WWE has kind of been running without John Cena for a long time. Cena's been coming in and just doing a match a year, you know? I mean, Roman, Seth, you know, that's been what we've been focused on. Bayley, women's wrestling. All of this stuff has kind of come through with really Cena not really being around. So WWE will just continue next year. Cody, Brock, Roman, you know, Rhea, EO. I'm sure we'll call some people up. Gunther is going to be right up there. Stephanie's up there. I'm sure Julia's going to be up there. So, you know, Roxanne, Liv will be back, of course. So the thing is, Vision, Seth, Bronze coming through. You know, we continue with all of that next year. Jacob. The goal is to find really good creative, really good stories, and to present people as best we can and put on engaging shows. And it doesn't even massively matter about, like, it doesn't even really massively matter about, like, where people are in their progress. I mean, as long as you're telling good stories, people will watch. I mean, I think you've seen that with Maxine. I mean, Maxine is someone that you do not see on TV. I said before, she's only had 12 singles matches this year, with most of those being at live events or being on main event. I haven't actually counted. I couldn't give you a number of TV singles matches that Maxine has had this year. I could do it, but I haven't bothered looking. But the general reaction to her winning that Intercontinental Championship is a positive one. WWE have managed to get that message out that she deserves it. And so that has resonated with people. That is a story, right? It is a story. And there's, if you look online, a lot of goodwill for that moment. So I think it doesn't even matter where you are. It's not like, oh, God, we're going to struggle because Braun's not quite there yet. Jacob's not quite there yet. I think it would be easy to look at, oh, well, what are we going to do with Carmelo? You know, Carmelo's been, you know, kicking around with The Miz. And, you know, Jacob's not quite, you know, there. And LA Knight obviously hasn't got to a world title yet. I think it's easy to look at those names and kind of be like, you know, these aren't really big stars, but if they're in good stories that people care about, it's going to help them become big stars. And it doesn't really matter that they're not Triple H, Stone Cold, and all of that. We do have big names like Cody, Roman. Hopefully The Rock can come back. Brock is obviously a big name. Seth is a big name. Punk is a big name. Rhea is a big name. So we do have big names. But yes, we do need that kind of mid-card, upper mid-card to really step up as well next year. We need more support for that top end. I think we all can see an aging main event scene, which I don't worry about. I'm just like, let's get going. You know, let's have that next wave kind of coming through. And I think you will start to see that. You will start to see Braun being up there, Jacob being up there. You know, LA Knight's had a few opportunities. I know that he's getting on in age himself, but, you know, there's still a story of whether he can win a world title to be told. So, you know, that's still a story that I think people would resonate with. So, yeah, we were fine before John. We're going to be fine after John. I just hope that we've got really good creative. I think we've got a good roster, a strong roster. and lots of potential. Grayson is potential. Austin Theory is still potential. You bring Theory back as a babyface and, really have him save the day. And, having some friends backstage and being a good guy. Oh, he's a good guy. I like Theory, he's a good guy. And build on that. You could get somewhere with Theory. So, yeah, I'd say there's reasons to be optimistic, but I do understand the concerns as well. We do need that middle of the pack to be invested in, and we do need to see that progress continue. Ober, Trick, Braun, yes, Adam, you're right. NXT talent that can step up as well, yes. Big Time said, you make an argument WWE in 2025 has relied on nostalgia, like chocolate chip cookie alongside returns, hype moments. At times, it's tried to recreate the Bloodline story with other factions. Steve said, I think there is a revolving door of talent in Evolve. Stories that were built were told, and then there's a need to get new ones started. That is the problem with Evolve in the sense of people come and go, don't they, quite quickly. So, you're bringing in new faces all the time, and you need to bring in new faces all the time because, we've had 2 seasons of LFG, and I don't think season 3 is that far away. You got to do something with this talent that's around. And just like we saw with, Idris Anofi, and like we've seen with a few others that have sadly gone now from WWE, then, people come and go. And so there is a lot more churn in Evolve. There is a lot more, hey, have you seen this person? We need to do something with them. Oh, have you seen this person? And it does make it hard. It is quite difficult for Evolve as a brand to kind of really invest in characters and invest in stories, because you are right. There is like this churn. We do still have like a core group though. I mean, we've seen a lot of Shawn Legacy, Callie Armstrong, Kendal Gray, Wendy Choo. There is a core group there. And I'm sure there's more that we could use on a regular basis. But, yeah, it's good. It's been good. I don't know if it's ever going to quite be what I was hoping, which was its own brand just for talent that's ready and not yet ready for NXT. And loads of great rivalries and cage matches. Its own brand. Everything we love about NXT, but just done at that next level down, which would be Evolve. And you do like, all different stipulation matches, triple threat matches, number 1 contender matches, battle royals, all that kind of stuff. Stories, backstage attacks, people going around other people's houses. I mean, you could do some really interesting stuff, actually, with that, because where do these guys hang out? Do they go to bars in the Orlando area? Are they sharing rooms with each other? I mean, I can't imagine they're getting paid loads at this level. So, can they film stuff around going around each other's houses? I don't know. Could there be love interest situations? That could be fun. We haven't quite gone that far with some of those things that we've said yet. Maybe it's coming. Maybe it can come on the horizon. But, yeah, we've watched 38 weeks of it now. And it's never quite gone that far. But it is still early, isn't it? We've only had one special, for example. We've only had one special. We've only had a handful of champions still. I mean, we've had 1 men's champ, 2 women's champ. We're very much in the early stages. So I'd love to see it get to that level, but it just hasn't reached that yet. Do you know the kids that grow up with Cena worrying about WWE? Now he's retiring. Do we feel the same when the guy you grew up with retired? Well, the guy I grew up with that retired was Undertaker. But what should happen is that you grow up watching Cena and then you get into other characters, So I grew up watching Undertaker, but there was, plenty of others that I've got into along the journey. So I loved Undertaker. I love Shawn. But, along the journey, there was people in the Attitude Era that I really enjoyed. Ruthless Aggression, PG Era, great, interesting stories. You go through the pandemic, come out of that, Triple H takes over. go through all of that, you know. I mean, I'm sat here now. I really enjoy watching Kendal. Really enjoy watching JC. Really enjoy watching EO. Really enjoy watching Javon. Obviously, Sammy. Really enjoyed Bloodline and Roman. Yeah, I mean, you just move on, you know. So it's like you say goodbye to the person that kind of helped you get into it, but hopefully there's been enough other stuff. You know, if you're into John, I've got to think you're into Roman right now, or Cody. I've got to think that they've managed to move you over to one of those, or maybe Seth or Punk. So you might have tuned in for John, who came in, 2022, 2023. There's been plenty that's dropped since then, which I would hope, and WWE would hope, that you've kind of switched over to. So if not, then, well, you know, that happens. Some people just love one person and that's it for them. But I don't know. I would say the majority probably fall in love with wrestling, and there's certainly enough variety and other characters to fall in love with that I would imagine most find someone else to support. Cena retiring is the nail in WWE's coffin. You know this, said James. Well, it's true. It's just like when Bruno retired. There was no way forwards, was there? There was no way forwards. And then when Hogan came along and he left for WCW, we might as well just shut the doors. And then we have the Attitude Era with Stone Cold. There ain't nothing that's following Stone Cold. You can't follow the Attitude Era. It was just too big. Okay, and then Cena came along, and then we went through the Cena era, of course. But now Cena's going, there's nothing that's going to follow this. Okay, yeah, Roman followed. Of course, Roman followed, and we're kind of going through a bit of a Cody thing now, and, you know, there's every chance that Braun's going to be the future, and, you know, Ober's coming through, Trick's coming through. I've still got high hopes for Theory, whatever, and, you know, Jacob's looking good, but there's nothing. Shut the doors. Shut the doors. It's over. Turn the lights off. We're done. Now, there will be some people that for them it's Cena and that's it, but I think for the majority it's not that case. Big Time said, if you're an NXT talent struggling to get TV time and a lower card talent with a bloated division, how are you going to better your position to avoid being cut? Well, first of all, I want to stand out. I think if I can genuinely look around and see that no one is looking like me, being presented like me, then I'd say that's a tick in the box, right? Then I need to make sure that what I'm doing that's different is good, right? That's the hard part. I think being different is not too difficult. Have a look around, see what everyone else is doing, try and do something different. Like, that should be easy. Do the opposite. But the harder thing is it good? Because I would think like a Wendy Choo, who has been doing like a bit of a sleeping gimmick, which is very different. Comes down with a pillow. Wasn't really working, so they turned her heel. And then that wasn't really working. And now they've got her talking. And do you know what I mean? Like, before that, she was Tian Shah. That was different as well. So, you know, she's had some different gimmicks, but I can't say that they've massively landed and worked for her. So I would say, unfortunately, you are a little bit of a slave to the creative that you're given. You know, you not only need to stand out, but you also need to make sure that whilst you're standing out, that it's working and that it's good and that Sean's okay with it and the creative team are on board with it and they like it and that you can make it work. I mean, if you can get it to connect with the fans, if you can get it so that the fans kind of really connect with you, like I would say Tatum has done. I mean, there is a big backlash today about Tatum losing that belt because people really like Tatum. She's really connected with the audience. I'd say she's different. And I'd say that she's managed to make it work. I would say Wendy Choo is different, and sadly she wasn't able to make it work. The fans did not care for Wendy the same way they seem to be caring for Tatum. So that would be what I would look for. If you're looking around and everyone else is largely the same, you're wearing black, everyone's wearing black, you got a generic name, everyone else has got a generic name, your theme's generic, They ask you what you're into. You're like, I enjoy going out to the bar. And there's like 5 other people, 10 other people that say the same thing. You ain't standing out. So you've got to try and make yourself stand out. Then you got to try and make sure that it's working, it's connecting with the audience. Creative are on board, Sean's on board, everyone's on board, it's all good. And then, of course, you know, it's your fundamentals. You know, are your promos good? And are they fitting with your character? Is your moveset good? Does it fit with your character? Have you got a good finisher? Can it be improved? Do you know how to kind of get a reaction out of the fans mid-match, all throughout the match? Like I said with PJ Vasa, do that big power move. And then when you've landed it, like, scream out to the fans, yeah? Something like this. Get some emotes going. Get the fans on board. Get them connected. Too many times in Evolve, you'll see people doing, like, matches, and they just move, duck underneath, against the ropes, clothesline, get back up. You know, there's nothing there interacting with the fans. There's no, that connection, it's not working. But, like, are you doing enough of that? And what's your social media game like? I mean, I think social media is a very powerful tool. I could understand a lot of people at this level being like, oh, I don't want to touch it because I might get in trouble. I might do something they don't like. And I don't want to run the risk. But it's a double-edged sword because you might also be able to, you know, make it work. I would say speak to Sean, speak to whoever's in charge, speak to the coaches. Say I'm thinking of doing something just along these lines, nice and simple. I think I can do something with it just to flesh my character out, but I won't do anything that's going to, do you know what I mean, get in the way of the show. I think that, you know, cutting some promos online, it's not a bad thing. Do you know what I mean? You can reach some people. If you're in a feud and you're being used on TV, like, the power of social media is not capitalized on by enough wrestlers. We've seen Chelsea use it fantastically. We've seen Drew use it fantastically. We've seen Trick Williams doing diss tracks. We've seen what it's done for Joe Hendry. Like, you can do it and it can work and it can be really good, really impactful. I think there are so many. If you ever find yourself thinking that you've done it, you've cracked it, you haven't. Because I don't think that you've learnt every move. I don't think that your promo game is the best it's, you know, can ever be. I don't think that you have mastered wrestling. I don't know what your finisher is. I don't know what your catchphrase is. I don't know what your main emote is. You know, the crowd love yeeting, right? What have you got? Have you got a hand gesture that the crowd can do? What's your shirt sales like? How are they doing? How's your shirt sales in comparison to everyone else on the roster? If your shirt sales are lower than everyone else, well, then that's a big indicator that you're not where you need to be. How's your segment breakdown, viewership? Does it decrease when it's time for your segment? Because then that would say you're not where you need to be. I mean, there's just so much. You're selling. I mean, when you're down, like, are you selling well? Just watch your match back and focus on nothing but the moments that you sell. Don't care about any of the moves. Don't care about the crowd reaction. Just watch your match back, and every time you get hit, watch your selling. Like, did you do too much? Did you do too little? Did the camera pick up on it? Is there something you can take from it? Can you watch other people's matches where they're selling and you only watch the selling? Again, you know, there's just so many facets. There's just so much stuff. I could understand someone starting wrestling going and having their head spinning. Like, I got to do all that. I got to be original. I got to stand out. I got to make it work. I got to have an emote. I've got to have a catchphrase. I've got to have good music. I've got to have good graphics. I've got to have good moveset. I've got to have good promos, engaging promos. I've got to have some killer lines. I've got to have a good social media game. You can understand how hard it is now for someone to be main roster ready. I mean, I really think, and I know people will be like, oh, well, what about such and such? They didn't. But by and large, general rule of thumb, that is all the sort of stuff you need to have worked out to get to the main roster. So, I mean, what I would say is, because I don't think you can ever really complete wrestling, I don't think anyone can ever say they've like completely mastered it, right? I'm sure even Daniel Bryan has continued to learn in these kind of past 5 years towards his, career ending. I would say like, how can you, if it's not working, how can you struggle to know what's not working? That would be my thing. There is so many indicators and there is so much stuff. Is there anyone out there that has amazing promos, amazing matches, has an amazing character, and it just isn't working? Is there anyone out there that's doing that? The only name that would come to my mind is Karrion Kross, who I think is a good promo, but I don't think his match quality was very good. I'm not being down on Karrion. I'm not knocking him at all, right? Because I like him. I feel sorry for him. I don't know what's going on, but I wish him all the best. But I think there's, his feud that he had with Sammy was not it. And we saw what Sammy went on to do with those open challenges. I mean, that match with Sammy at like SummerSlam and everything, I mean, it was really underwhelming. They were like some of the worst matches on that card, on that event. But I mean, I don't remember his matches being like bad historically. Maybe part of it is just that it's a guy you don't use very often. How's he meant to put on a banger when he's probably got ring rust? Because he gets used so infrequently. I don't know. I don't know what's happened there. I thought he had a really interesting character, him and Scarlett. I thought he used social media so well, maybe better than anyone. I think he knows his character. I think he's got a good size, good promos. He ticks all those boxes I just mentioned. The only box I would say that I'd have a question mark around is his match quality. Because I didn't feel that his match quality in that Sammy feuds and with the Wyatts and with a lot of bits, it wasn't good. On the indies, I'm sure it's been really good. I'm sure he's had some real great matches. But that's the only thing I could think to say. Other than that, I don't know. But by and large, if you are struggling, then there is an aspect of your game that's not quite right. And tape study and looking online and seeing what people are saying. Flipping, join one of our streams. I'll tell you what's wrong. You'll tell them what's wrong. If there's anyone in Evolve not sure what's not quite working, we'll tell you. It's not a problem. Free service. And we'll kind of tell you what we're seeing and how it's coming across to us. And how, if it's working or not working, and what we like would tweak and change. Because I can't think of a single talent in Evolve that I wouldn't tweak or change something about. Probably the same is true with NXT as well. I mean, really, the only ones that I could say that I've got a mystery around are probably Karrion and, main roster stars. And that's it, really. Grayson Waller on Chris Van Vliet said he would go to the PC to give advice. And he would check up at the PC. He said he's had to scold some people because they're there for fun and giggles. Really? That's interesting. James said, don't go to HBK and ask him about selling. Asib said, Will Ospreay is amazing. He's the full package. Adam said, Cross is doing good on the indies. He's been doing good at House of Glory. Yeah, I can believe that. I can believe that. I mean, I'm not saying that he has bad matches. I'm saying he has had bad matches, but I'm not saying he has them consistently. I'm just saying that's the only thing I could think. I do think, if there was wrestlers that did come to us and go on then, what do you think? I would really pride myself on having an answer. I would pride myself on being able to watch the show and be able to give an answer. And that's something that I really enjoy about wrestling. I know it sounds weird, but that's something I really enjoy. I think I would be a good trainer, actually. Not now. I mean, if I had got in the industry, right? I think that's something I would really enjoy. I can understand why old wrestlers that their careers are done want to do it. Because I bet it's really rewarding. Watching people fulfill their potential. Watching people that couldn't quite work it out, you help them work it out, and then boom, they're off. I mean, could you imagine if you worked with Roman when he was in FCW and he wasn't quite sure on a few things, and you give him some advice and boom, off he goes. I mean, that you'd just have a permanent smile on your face, wouldn't you? Roman going off being this massive star and you contributed to that, you know? I mean, I could imagine that being so rewarding. Really, really rewarding. So, yeah, I think that's something that would be really, really good. But I think with Carrion, as we said, I mean, what the hell would you say to him? This is why I've struggled with his release, because it just doesn't make sense to me as to why they kind of parted ways. And actually, Tony Khan said that on Ariel Helwani, didn't he? Doesn't make sense. He'd like to sit down and talk to him about it, because it just doesn't make any sense. Daze, this isn't Evolve related, but did we see Becky's tweet? I love how she's playing this character and moving along great. I haven't seen any tweet today. I saw a tweet yesterday where she said she'd spoke to lawyers and all of that, but I haven't seen any tweets today. I'm about to go and do Unseen next. The wrestling world can be fun, said Adam. It should be fun. It should be fun. Taker said, I'm hope that WWE doesn't cut Carmen. We've seen more on Evolve than NXT. Thoughts? I think the thing with Carmen is they've really dug into her martial arts, the sword stuff, and I don't know. I mean, it's not really enough of a point of difference. I mean, we've seen Xia Li do that previous. It didn't work for her. It didn't work for Xia Li. Do you remember she was up on the main roster doing, like, you know, in the entranceway? And this just feels like another version of that. I think that she's got nice kicks. She's obviously got some skills. She seems like a nice girl, but there needs to be more there. And I think if the point of difference is I've got a sword and I can do this with it, I would say, well, Xia Li did that and it got her nowhere. I don't think that's going to be what takes you to the big time. And actually, I would say you was in NXT doing that stuff, and now you've gone into Evolve. I mean, if that doesn't tell you that this is not working, I don't know what to tell you. Continuing to do more of the same, I wouldn't recommend it. That's what I would say. I wouldn't recommend it. You were there. You're now there. You're still doing the same stuff. Where do you think you go next? Where next? Granted, she can continue working on a match quality and her promos and everything, but I mean, presentation is really important. I don't get excited when she comes out and does like her sword stuff. Don't need it. Not interested. You can't use a sword in the ring. Those skills, I don't see her waving a sword around and think, oh, this person in the ring's in trouble. Those skills just don't translate to me. She's got good kicks. I will give her that. I think she's fine in the ring. You gotta be really good in order to survive and thrive. Do you know what I mean? You've got to have good character. You've got to have some fire. I don't know, man. I do worry for her because it does feel like she's just accepting kind of what's happening. Like, okay, I'm in Evolve now. It's a bit like Nikita. Nikita was in NXT, now she's in Evolve. I mean, it's not good if you find yourself going backwards, is it? Let's be honest. I mean, it's not good if you're Brooks Jensen, if you're Nikita. I mean, it would be Wendy Choo. I mean, it would be nice to think that they're just using them to sort of bump up Evolve's kind of profile. But what I would say is if they saw you as someone that they really wanted in NXT, they wouldn't have took you out of NXT. You would be there now. They have clearly seen you as someone that is disposable, that they don't really have any creative force. So, I don't know, man. I think big changes might be needed there. James said, that's the difference between the Indies and WWE. On the Indies, you get time to put the matches together and be more fluent. In WWE, you've just got to work within that structure and within that time frame. Yes, I agree. Frank says, anyone on their own wrestling man cave? I hope to have one. I don't have a wrestling man cave, but I do have my wrestling corner, of course. So, I don't know. I don't know that I need a man cave full of wrestling stuff. Would be nice to have, I suppose. But, yeah, I'm quite happy with the odd little display. I think if I get my own place in the future, which I obviously hope to achieve one day, I'll probably have like a few bits just dotted around the flat, a few stands and a few bits, rather than there being it all in one room. Probably just put a few bits around the flat. But yeah, if I had a place where I had a room and I could turn it into a cave, then, well, maybe we would have a different conversation. Big Time said, fun fact, Carmen was getting a lot of TV time in 2014 and early 2025. But she no-sold Ashanti's storyline after being uncomfortable. The trust from creative fell off. Is that true? I don't know if maybe that's true. Ariana Grace is also in the red zone. What is she doing? She's on TNA every week. Yeah, I mean, she's also someone that's gone backwards. They clearly have not had anything for her. Although she did have an injury for a while. And they did use her in TNA. I mean, it's hard because she's I believe been injured for a bit. Maybe they've kind of said to her, let's use you in Evolve to get your fitness back up. I'd say if someone's dealt with an injury and they're in Evolve, might be a different story. I mean, Ariana just does not get used in matches, does she? I mean, I'd agree. I'd say there is an issue there. Anyone that was in NXT that now finds themselves in Evolve more than just, a week or two to help out, you've slipped. You've gone backwards. There is a problem. There should be alarm bells ringing, yes. So clearly some work to be done. And it was interesting because that happened to Ridge, didn't it? He went to Evolve at Steam Pig. And do you remember, he said that he spoke to coaches and said, what's wrong? What do I need to do? And they were like, no, it's all fine. It's all fine. I think the truth was the writing was already on the wall for him. I think at that point, I don't think there was anything he could do. The reason I brought it up is because there's so many women climbing the rankings and there's just not enough room. Yeah, it's true. You've got to be great. You've got to. It is, unfortunately, a sink or swim landscape, isn't it? It is a sink or swim landscape because the competition is so high and everyone is competing for TV time. Wrestling Fan said the Steam Pig was the highlight of Evolve. But there we go. We are done. Appreciate everyone joining us. And maybe not the strongest episode of Evolve, but it is what it is. I can tell you that you lot gave that main event match good 100%. So you got something from it. Thank you to everyone joining us. Adam, again, thank you for the support. Really appreciate it. Prehistoric Vintage, thank you. And Johnny, thank you for finding that song. I'm going to go and check it out right now. So there we go. That was Evolve. I'm going to work on Unseen. And I will see you again next time. Bye for now.